Well, I want to talk about drunk driving. The local group that I used was MAD, and it's Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And I wanted to persuade you not to drink and drive. Did you know every 30 minutes someone is involved in a drunk driving accident that calls for fatal results? Driving while under the influence of alcohol is drunk driving. It's against the law and it causes serious harm to either you, your passengers, or anyone else around you. There is a mass research evidence to show that drunk driving performance and reaction times are seriously affected by alcohol. Alcohol is a depressant that slows down the body reaction and working of the brain. Each year, drunk driving is responsible for 25% of these deaths. The effect of alcohol can have poor conditions on your body. It can change your reaction to certain things, like if a car is coming at you, you won't have the same reaction if you were normal. You might have slow and turn into each other, or turn into the person. It gives you double vision. This will prevent you from seeing the road clearly. It also will make you drowsy and unable to drive properly. After just one drink, a driver can lose their ability to perform the tasks necessary to drive the car. At a certain point, a driver will become illegally intoxicated to drive. You can have your body while you're driving, but your body won't be completely normal. After just one drink, you're not supposed to be driving. A lot of misconceptions is, oh, if I have one beer or one shot, I'll be able to just drive home, but that's not the truth. It's a serious thing against the law, and it's caused a lot of sorrow for many families, this incident. And I want to share a story of, her name is Charlotte Blackburn, and this is a picture of her. She was just outside and she was run down by Ryan Elmore, and she was only 17. Ryan, the driver who was drinking and driving, only got 8 years in prison, but that's a large price to pay for just one night of fun out with your friends. And it's not only that he just gets 8 years, he took away her life, so now her family has to deal with never seeing her again, or not really getting to have the chance to live a full life. The death of the 17-year-old girl, also what kind of example does this set for others? Until the job is tougher, the courtroom will see more murders like this one. I think it's sad that the judge didn't really get strict with him, because drunk driving is such an epidemic that it's causing so many deaths, and it's really hurting Americans, and especially from 17 to 21, the alcohol statistics show that it's 25% of alcohol-related crashes involve kids from underage drinking. So I think it's crazy. Another statistic for 2008 was that an estimated 11,773 people died in a drunk driving related crash. In 2007, that was a little higher by 2,000 people. So even though that the percentage is going down a little bit, it's not enough. 11,000 people died just because of people thinking that they can drink after being intoxicated. So I want to go on ways that you can avoid drinking and driving. If you are of age and you want to drink and go out with your friends, that's obviously your right, but you don't. Some solutions would to be always to If you're mature enough to go out and drink, then you should be mature enough to plan your night properly. So while I was on MAD, the Mothers Against Drunk Driving website, I found a ton of stories, and a lot of them were just about teens thinking that they are invincible. So a way that if you can plan your night properly is to always plan to have someone that's not going to drink. They'll be the designated driver, and to make sure that person doesn't drink. I know a lot of times people go out with their friends and the designated driver will end up drinking. In this case, you always want to have a backup plan, and maybe to always have someone at home that you could call, or possibly you could call a taxi to get home, or anything like that. You should also always maybe think about staying overnight. If you're going to a big party and it's at your friend's house and you're going to drink, maybe just plan an overnight bag so that if you do end up drinking, you can always just sleep there and go home the next morning, and just be safe about it, because drunk driving will really kill your record. Standard driver's education class includes this is another solution. You can go to drunk driving, or you can go to driver's education classes, and they include 30 hours of classroom teaching and 6 hours of behind the wheel training. This is enough to fully train a new driver. This will just teach you how to be safe, and driving under the influence of drugs and alcohol. They'll teach you that how unsafe it is, and I think that another solution would be to definitely involve the schools more. I know when I was in high school, the police would actually come in and they would talk with you, and you could wear funny goggles, but they made it into more of a joke. But I think it should be something more serious, and not to just do it right before prom season or something. That show that you show it throughout the year, and maybe instead of doing persuasive speeches or papers on low birth weights, because that's what I remember I had to do, maybe do it on teen drunk driving or underage driving, and that way teens can research and learn how to do that themselves. Okay. Standard. The number of accidents have been dropping for a number of reasons, and these are just some solutions that worked out. The states have been taking some effective measures, such as immediate suspension of the license. I think that's a great thing. If you're stupid enough to drink and drive, then you're not mature enough to have your license. They also lowered the legal number. Instead of it being .08, it's .02 now that you aren't allowed to drive. That's the new thing. And after January 1st, people under the age of 21 caught drinking and driving with a alcohol layer of .01 or greater immediately lose their driver license for 1 year. I think that it should be longer, but maybe that year of not drinking and driving will help people. DUI convictions in 5-year periods of those who twice allow their vehicle to be used by somebody that was drinking and driving without a license are currently taking away those cars and putting them into car crashers. So, people who have few social drinks get behind the wheel and then they pulled over by police. So try to manage your life so that you do not drink and drive. If you do go out with a drink, try to be somewhere that you can reach either by foot